I'd like to call the order of the Common Council meeting for August 24th at 6 p.m. Roll call.
Alderpersons Madden.
Here.
Kubaki.
Here.
Engelhardt.
Here.
Kapusta.
Here.
Terrence is absent. Hamel.
Here.
Wolf is absent. We have a quorum present.
Thank you. Statement of public notice.
This meeting was noticed in accordance with the open meeting law.
Thank you. Public comment. Anyone? We didn't have any forms filled out, so we will go to.
Well, you have that. I don't know if that.
Oh, all right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Before we move on, we thought we'd give you that opportunity. Communications from the mayor's office. We had a crash in our backup system in IT this past week. It was catastrophic. So there's one on the there's two different backup systems. So we have a redundancy. One is nearing the end of its life, and she's requesting it in capital for the 2022. If you've looked ahead in the capital for her presentation, that's one of them. This is the other one. So I made the authorization for her to replace it because we need a backup, and it puts us down in very bad danger. Costs about $85,000. It's coming out of, we have a fund from capital projects in the past that have come in under budget, so we're paying for it through that. Any questions? Because not having backup in today's day and age would not be good for our system.
Any specific reason what caused it to crash? Or?
Age, for the most part, we probably stretched it a little too far. She is recommending, and it was part of her presentation already, that we have, it's 5 years old. And she wants to get in a quicker rotation on those. We've got a tremendous amount of data that we keep on these. You know, you think of all the different things for the PD, and everything's gone online. I mean, everything's gone digital here.
It's amazing.
Was that part? I'm sorry.
Technology lasts.
Was that part of her capital request for the coming year?
Not the one we replaced. Well, she had one coming, so she's still coming forward with that one.
Okay.
This is another one. So there's two ultimately. She was hoping to get by with one for the capital for this coming year, but it crashed, and we don't want to take a chance in the redundancy crashing either. Gotcha. So she'll still be coming forward with the other request. Consent agenda. Approval of August 10th Common Council minute meetings. Common Council meeting minutes, sorry. Approval of operator's license. Resolution 072-2021, approval of bond reduction for Home Path Financial LP Cobblestone. Resolution 073-2021, award of a bid for MMSD Green Infrastructure Stormwater Tree Replacement. Resolution 074-2021, resolution to opt out of the MMSD Green Infrastructure Program for 2022. Resolution 075-2021, establish traffic regulations, a speed limit reduction on Ryan Drive. Resolution 076-2021, approval of a permanent storm sewer easement granted by the Bassi Family Trust, UTD 1993. Resolution 077-2021, approval of permanent sanitary sewer and water main easement granted Will Rose Apartments, LLC.
Move to approve and gross.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. There is no new business. Unfinished business. Ordinance 1460, an ordinance to add Chapter 229 to the Municipal Code of the City of Muskego, low-speed vehicles, neighborhood electric vehicles, and golf carts. Second reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
I'd like to offer an amendment to this. I want to thank Jeff and the mayor for helping me word part of it.
Do you want me to hand these down to them?
No. But along with what's printed there, I'd like to add the thought that eliminate 22917 and not have a registration for these. My neighborhood has used carts for years, and don't know of any particular problems that have come up with them. And older carts are not equipped with some of the things that are asked for. And I don't see a need if we haven't had any problems.
So essentially, your amendment is asking for the the requirement of lights and turn signals to be on golf carts to be waived during daylight hours?
Yeah, I want to say I'm not against having headlights and taillights requirement for after sunset, and if they're going to operate. And I would like to see that there not be a registration for them and making them have to do that, because I haven't seen the evidence that we're in serious troubles with these.
Alderman Madden.
And I understand your point for your neighborhood, but we're talking about the whole city. And I think there's a lot of, and since the chief is here, we can run it by him. There's a lot of areas where even during the day, you don't want somebody going down the road without turn signals.
I'm all for the 25-mile limit and keeping them to neighborhoods on the 25-mile streets. There's very few streets that they're going to cross. The allowance for them to cross the higher speed street is there. But there's very few streets that have an intersection directly across like that on a 35-mile street. So mostly they're stuck in their own neighborhood if we allow this.
Yeah.
They'd still be required to use hand signals. No
They
different
would.
than any-
There's
yes.
any other vehicle that would not have signals on it.
And if they're crossing a main road, there wouldn't be, a turn signal wouldn't come into play because they can only go
Straight
across
across,
the main road.
correct.
They can't turn on it, so they wouldn't, they haven't. not-
Bicycles come to mind who are supposed to use hand signals.
Yeah, it's like bikes, when, by rights, when you make a turn, you're supposed to use hand signals. And
Right.
if you're at night, you're supposed to have
Lights.
a light and a tail light on a bike as well. So and a bike can go, good bicyclist can do 25 miles an hour on a bike, so
I don't think the question is that they're supposed to. The facts are that they don't. And if you're driving around in this golf cart and I forgot, and all of a sudden there's a crash, I don't know. It's just me. I know my neighborhood, we got a lot of areas where you can go from one neighborhood to the next without going on a busy street. And I think if you're going from Champions Village to Groveway to Astor Hills and you don't have a turn signal with the traffic running around down there, somebody could get hurt.
Is my neighborhood so unique that I'm the only guy that's seen people doing this?
Alderman.
To me, it's a matter of safety. I ride my bike a lot, and I always have a front light on, and I always have a rear light on, because traffic, I'm sharing the road with a lot bigger vehicles than my little bike. And I appreciate your neighborhood that somebody has these older golf carts that aren't required for this. But with this spreading out throughout the city, I just consider it a hazard without having the proper warning lights on a vehicle.
Yeah.
Should we run it by the chief?
We didn't make a motion of an amendment, so are we discussing something
Oh,
out of order
yeah.
here?
So you're making a
Point of
motion,
order?
somebody make a motion.
All right, let me make a motion that we would do as we stated here with the addition that I made. Now, Jeff would have to reword things, I'm afraid, quite a bit.
I'm sorry, what's the motion?
Yeah, can you restate that?
Are you removing the first motion to amend?
Well, he hasn't made, we haven't.
2918.
the motion to amend hasn't been-
He was just.
22917 and 22918 would have to be reworked to allow for sunrise to sunset without a light and
Why don't we
no
break these,
registration.
why don't we break these into
it's
two
too
separate
confusing.
things? So do the
right.
first one first.
Okay, let's take it that way then. So,
So you're
so
making,
stated on the sheet of paper, 22918 would be adjusted.
So 22918E would be added.
Or
And
E.
that's what's on the paper. And that says the provisions of the section as they relate to headlights, taillights, and directional signals are not required for operation of golf carts during daylight hours from sunrise to sunset. I think if I'm understanding you, that's your first
Yes.
amendment.
is there a
Yes.
second for that? Hearing none, it dies for a second. All right.
Now, did you have a second? Did you have another amendment you wanted to make?
I was still offering an amendment that we do not require registration for golf carts in the city.
So what you're saying is then section 22917 of the one that's proposed would be eliminated? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
In its entirety?
Yes.
Okay.
The whole section would be removed?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a second for that?
What is the purpose on both sides of registering or not
So if
registering?
You can make the second and not have to vote for it, but for us to talk about it, we need a second.
Okay, I'll second it.
All right. Now we can talk about it.
Okay.
We talked about the other one.
So what is the purpose for or not for registering? What's the logic behind both of those?
I think it's to ensure that they have the proper safety equipment on the unit.
But when they register it, does it go through a safety
I
check?
have it on here.
Yeah, that's on there.
Okay.
Section C says that it will be inspected by the police department to make sure it complies with the equipment restrictions, which are on the next page. It's kind of broken out. One is the fee and one is they can't operate without it being registered. And then the other part of it is to have it inspected. That's what section 17 says now. It's like we do with a lot of things. We charge a fee if someone
Sure.
is going to have something registered.
Right. There's staff time involved.
Right.
Could I ask the chief if there's been incidents that would necessitate the equipment?
Bless you.
Thank you.
So we don't have any history pointing in that direction at this point.
We're talking about registration.
But we're talking about the registration part right now.
Yeah, but the equipment would be part of the registration.
Well, the motion is, yeah, I guess, but
I don't think we have a history to look at because it's not been legal in this city. Now we're opening it up, so there could be some history to check.
Agreed, but like I say, I've been seeing it for years in my neighborhood and there's no
Well, if your
history.
neighborhood's been doing this and nobody's got stopped, then it must be okay for them.
I don't know if the
what to tell
officers,
ya.
I don't know
What
if the
about these-
officers have talked to anybody in my neighborhood or not. I don't own one and I don't operate
You know,
one.
there's these new electric bikes out. What does this mean for those down the road? Are they
technically those are illegal.
the electric bikes that you pedal with the little motor on them?
Correct.
Those are illegal.
Technically.
Are the electric bikes in part of what we're saying with the NEV thing here?
No.
No, okay.
Am I wrong on the electric bike thing? Motorized bike is illegal right now?
It is.
Yeah.
But people are.
Well, they're
Right,
just like
no
a
one
regular
enforces it,
mountain
right.
bike or something.
Thank you. And I thank you for that.
You could, if you're going to take the registration or the fee and everything out, you could still leave C in, which talks about it has to be inspected by the police department. You could still leave the inspection in and take the registration out. It's not my favorite thing to do, but you could do it.
I just assume leave it in. There's going to be more and more of these. I've already heard talk from people that they want to purchase this as it becomes legal. And I want to make sure that when these vehicles are on the road, sharing the road with a 3,000-pound vehicle, that they're safe, that they're not going to be any injuries as a result of it. So I speak against the motion.
Are we requiring they show insurance on this?
No,
Not on a golf cart.
no.
So all they got is this assumption of risk. That's all we got in there.
Yes,
Okay, so no insurance on the cart.
they don't have to have insurance.
Okay.
On a low-speed vehicle in a neighborhood, yes, and those are the other parts of this ordinance. But on a golf cart, there really is no provision to have insurance.
Okay. Because most condo associations require them to have own insurance.
Yeah, I think you can probably get it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's real easy. So we're going to let somebody on the roads, but no insurance on that piece. And if they are involved in an accident, then how does that work?
Wisconsin law requires that you assume the responsibility of the damage of your actions for whatever
Yeah.
you do regardless.
Yeah, they're taking the risk,
Right.
Okay,
as is a bicyclist and others, right?
Exactly.
that answers that question.
The electric bikes and all that would fall in the
They're all
same thing.
taking the risk and they're all
Yep.
responsible.
And boaters the same way.
Right.
True. Yeah, we don't require insurance on a boat. There's probably a lot more risk involved in that.
I mean, the regulations require insurance on those other ones. That's why it's in there, on the LSVs and the neighborhood electric
Is
vehicles.
that based on state statute already? or
No,
not?
federal statute.
Federal.
Could you come up to the microphone?
Yeah, we can't
That's
hear you.
Good.
Registration of the vehicles would also assist in terms of owner liability on the roadway, because if you have one of these older golf carts from a golf resort or something like that, it may not seem like, oh, you'll know who the owner is, but trust me, in an investigation, that something happens or goes on a roadway, or somebody's driving it, then we can't prove who the owner is. A registration that we can go back to if we have an owner's liability citation on the road, which is sometimes happens, so it doesn't go to the operator, it would go to the owner. And so that would be a benefit of having a registration.
It would also help for prosecution.
Correct.
For municipal court. I didn't even think of that. That's a very good point.
Are newer golf carts being equipped with this kind of equipment already? From
Pretty much all the new ones that you're seeing specifically, and I've seen, they're already operating, just like you're saying.
Now, what's the difference between what he's sitting out by the street there on Janesville Road and a golf cart for golfing?
So those those have their own VIN. Those would follow more of the neighborhood electric vehicle.
So that's what we're talking about with the other part of the ordinance. then.
So a true golf cart by statute is something that was designed from the ground up to be a golf vehicle. Those that they're selling over there for the most, except for the used ones that they sell, are not. So those are designed for transportation. The ones that you see running around your neighborhood, those were, I'm sure, in a former life on a golf course somewhere.
Yeah, but virtually all of them that I see running around are older carts.
Those are really a low-speed vehicle or a
They really
neighborhood electric.
low.
Any of these vehicles that are motorized and operating on the roadway are enforceable through normal traffic citations
Right.
as a motorized vehicle. In fact, we had a fourth offense OWI 2 days ago on an electric bike that you mentioned. So it happens, and they're considered motorized vehicles. And lawnmowers, all those type of things that you see cutting across, they're all subject to traffic laws that are either state statute or something that'll go to municipal ordinance.
Would we anticipate more of these older carts joining on the road? I don't know.
Yes, I would think if we have an ordinance that allows them, they're going to, and our current ordinance, the way it's worded, would require them to upgrade them by adding the safety equipment you're talking about. My opinion on that, it's already done, but I'm going to rehash it. I don't see the issue with during daylight hours if they're using hand signals, because if I forgot to use the hand signal, it's the same excuse you could use if I forgot to turn the signal on.
Yeah.
So
It's still enforceable under the same.
right,
municipal
exact same thing.
Yeah.
Failure to signal and.
And,
those
and,
type of
and these are going to be left in subdivisions, but that ship's already sailed for now, unless somebody reconsiders. But the registration part, for all the reasons the chief said, I guess I would encourage you to keep that. Any further discussion on this? All those in favor of the motion to amend, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Fails 4-1. Now, the motion as presented, any further discussion on it? Hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
That passes 4-1. Thank you.
Wait
Wait a minute, did Tom say no?
Yes, that'd be 4-1, right?
I said
And John said no.
That's,
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you both said no.
3-2.
3 to 2.
3-2.
Okay.
Good ears, Jeff.
I thought I heard you say that.
My mistake. All right, ordinance 1462, an ordinance to amend chapter 132 of the municipal code of the city of Muskego, alcoholic beverages, second reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Any updates on this or anything you want to say?
It's pretty much what I said last time.
Okay.
I mean, if somebody has questions, I'll answer them, but I kind of went through the whole thing last time.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That passes unanimously. Review of committee reports. You have in front of you have the Finance Committee meeting from July 27th, Public Works and Safety Committee meetings from March 16th, April 20th, and May 18th. And then we go to license approvals. Approval of the amended license premise for AJ's Bar and Grill on Boxhorn Drive to include the grass area immediately surrounding the patio and outside dance permit as follows for Saturday, September 11th, 18th, and 25th, 2021, from 3:30 PM till 6:30 PM.
Move to approve.
Discussion?
I'm sorry, who seconded?
I'll second.
Tom and Eileen, Bob and Eileen.
Bob and Eileen.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Voucher approval.
Move to approve utility vouchers in the amount of $8,041.84.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
There are no tax vouchers. General fund, motion to approve general fund vouchers in the amount of $108,603.47.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Motion to approve wire transfers in the amount of $404,825.33.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. City officials' reports, we have none. Communications miscellaneous business as authorized by law. Any updates from any of the liaisons? It's on here, as I'll mention, the festival is this weekend. The parade is Sunday. Encourage everyone to come out and see your neighbors and your constituents. Any future agenda items needed?
Little Muskego Lake has, the district has received their new machine, so there's a new aquatic cutter on the lake. They got a decent trade off of the old one.
Nice.
Moving forward.
Any other updates?
Mayor, do you want to mention?
Oh,
September
yes.
14th?
I even have a note here for that. I didn't really say it. Sorry. September 14th, we have a lot on the agenda. Any suggestions on starting time or what's availability? We'd like to start as early as possible. Any opposition to starting at like 5 or before?
5 would probably be the earliest I could.
Okay, is 5 work for everyone else? We will plan on starting the cow at 5. Finance, can we start that earlier? Like at 10:02?
Sure.
I'm good.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay.
That's 3 weeks this time, though.
Motion to adjourn would be in order.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned at 6:23.